And then I will go over an example of a fictitious Skinny Mamas community member who is postpartum and trying to lose weight. And I will guide you through some of the tools that I've created that allow her to lose the weight in a sustainable and healthy way. And then I will talk a little bit about our next call, what we're going to be going over. And then I will open up the floor to any questions. My background is in bodybuilding, coaching, and fitness and health. And before I became pregnant, I was in the best shape of my life. I weighed 110 pounds. I had a six pack. I was doing pull-ups every single day. I could do 13 in a row. I was lifting heavy weights 4 times a week and walking at least 10,000 steps a day. And as well as my fitness regimen, I had a full-time job as a bartender and a bar manager. So I had a lot going on my plate at that time. And then I fell in love and I decided to start a family and I got pregnant right away. And um, I went through a pregnancy that I just didn't expect. Doctors told me that I wouldn't gain more than like 35 pounds. Well, I ended up gaining 75 pounds. So at the end of my pregnancy, I weighed 185 pounds. I had an insatiable appetite. I was eating two of every single meal and snacks just throughout the day. It was crazy. And every time I would go to the doctor, the scale was just going right up. And my husband decided to support me in this effort because I was gaining so much weight and it was a little embarrassing. So he joined me and we ate pretty much the same way. And so that was actually kind of fun. It was my first pregnancy, and so I just took it to the limit with food. I really just didn't hold back, and I don't feel guilty about it at all. However, I did, like I said, I gained 75 pounds and ended up weighing 185 pounds from 110 pounds before my pregnancy. So postpartum, for the first month and a half, I took it really easy. I focused on rest and recovery, and that was incredibly important for my health and my son's health. And at about 2 months postpartum, I remember looking in the mirror one day. I was headed to the shower and I couldn't recognize myself. I was just huge. I had fat rolls. My clothes were still not fitting. I was still wearing maternity clothes. My feet were killing me just standing. My feet were still swollen. And it was quite embarrassing. I didn't want my husband to see me naked, and I just knew that I had to do something. It was bad. It was time to make a change, and I needed to lose a lot of fat. And so I had to come up with a strategy to lose the weight in a healthy and sustainable way. And I used my bodybuilding and coaching experience to come up with this strategy. Well, after I had my son, I was told by my doctors that because I had an emergency C-section, that exercise was just out of the question for at least 6 months. So this weight loss plan could not include any exercise and hardly any light cardio, even just maybe the tiniest bit of walking. So I started my plan. I now call it the Skinny Mamas Method, and it has allowed me to lose 67 pounds at 8 months postpartum now. And I am feeling great. I've got my energy back. I fit into my clothes again. And my husband can't keep his eyes off me. My husband has joined me in this effort as well. And he has lost over 55 pounds on the Skinny Mamas Method. And it's a lot of fun to be doing this with him.